Stick around to the end of this video for a shadowing exercise to help you practice everything you've learned. In this video, you'll learn how to phrase all the different forms of the pronoun you. This will help you sound more natural, and it'll also help you understand Americans when they speak naturally. The pronoun you isn't normally reduced when it's unstressed, although in some fixed phrases and situations, it's pronounced ya. For example, you betcha, gotcha, I hear ya. In other words, things you might say with a wink or a cheeky smile.
Oh, you betcha. Gotcha.
I hear ya.
Having said that, there are people who use ya all the time in their speech. Do you have a minute? Can I go with ya? I personally don't use it that much because, to me, it sounds a little sarcastic. But hey, I'm not the last Coke in the desert. If you like it, use it. See what I did there? If you like it, use it. And yes, I said that with a wink. Speaking of sarcasm, there's one phrase that we always use ya with. Maybe you're familiar with duh, which is something we say when somebody says something really obvious, like, oh, you brought your umbrella in case it rains? Duh. Well, another way to say duh that's equally sarcastic is, you think? For instance, picture it. You're sitting in a diner, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, you're holding a menu, and somebody walks up and asks, breakfast?
Breakfast?
You think?
I can't do that.
You think?
This is really getting out of hand.
You think? Thanks for that insight.
The contraction your is normally reduced to your, and you'll is normally reduced to you'll. You think you're funny. You think you're funny. You think you're funny.
You still think you're funny now, creep? You still think you're funny now, creep?
Note that when any form of you is preceded by a word that ends in T, the T and the Y combine and are pronounced ch. This is my own symbol for this sound. It's kind of like a ch in the word church, but is pronounced with more pressure in the mouth. Listen to the two together. Church, 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 church. So when a form of you comes after T, the T is pronounced but not released, and the Y turns into ch. Both sounds should be clearly pronounced. For instance, the word gotcha isn't pronounced gotcha, but rather gotcha, gotcha. Listen to them together. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. So how would you say this? Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. We do something similar after a word that ends in D. The final D isn't released, and the Y is pronounced like J, almost like J in judge. Did you? Did you? Find you. Find you. Heard you. Heard you. Here's a little shadowing exercise to help you practice everything you learned. It's a phone conversation between two friends. Did you get my message? Did you get my message? Notice that did you is often reduced to ju in conversation. Did you get my message? Yeah, what do you mean you're not coming to my birthday? In conversation, what do you is pronounced what do you? What do you? What do you mean? What do you mean? Also note that mean your is reduced to mean your. mean. What do you mean you're not coming to my birthday? What do you mean you're not coming to my birthday? You're not going to believe this, but you know I've started teaching guitar, right? Here, your is reduced to your. You're not gonna believe this. Also note that but you is pronounced but you. But you. But you know I've started. But you know I've started. Yeah, you told me. Yeah, you told me. Well, Friday I gave my first lesson to this guy. Well, Friday I gave my first lesson to this guy. Oh, cool. How'd he find you? Oh, cool. How'd he find you? Note that find you is reduced to find you. Also note that how'd he is reduced to howdy, just like the word howdy. A friend of his recommended me. A friend of his recommended me. And how'd it go? And how'd it go? Good, except that my student called me this morning to tell me he has COVID. Good, except that my student called me this morning to tell me he has COVID. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. I kid you not. I just went and got tested, and wouldn't you know it, I tested positive. I kid you not. I just went and got tested, and wouldn't you know it, I tested positive. Kid you is pronounced kid you. Kid you. I kid you not. And wouldn't you is pronounced wouldn't you. Wouldn't you. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? Oh, then you better stay home. Oh, then you better stay home. You think? You think? Well, hopefully it's a mild case and you'll be okay in a few days. We can do something when you're better. Well, hopefully it's a mild case and you'll be okay in a few days. We can do something when you're better. Here, you'll is reduced to you'll. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. And when you're is reduced to when you're. When you're. When you're better. When you're better. Count on it. I still have to give you your present. You're going to love what I got you. Count on it. I still have to give you your present. You're going to love what I got you. Here, give you your is reduced to give you your. Give you your. I still have to give you your present. You're going to is reduced to you're gonna. You're gonna. You're gonna love what I gotcha. Gotcha. You're gonna love what I gotcha. You're gonna love what I gotcha. And of course, ya is used here, gotcha, to give the whole statement a playful wink.